Board games, board games, it's what we're going to play. Board games to enjoy our day. Well, it's actually card games, it's what we're going to play. Card games to enjoy our day. We'll play a game that's Nano Muckell. That's quite short, and at this point, I know it well. Then we'll play a slightly longer one, known as Micro Muckell. Now it's the end of the song. So, what are we going to play today? In case you weren't listening, we are playing Nano Muckell and Micro Muckell. I want to say a quick hello. I am Bez. I am designer of Wibble, Phrasal, Grabble, Fable, Couple, and the two games that we are just about to play. I'm also designer of some games that don't end in L, such as Kitty Cataclysm and Yogi. I am proud that today I went for a walk. It's been a new thing. I go for a walk before I look at any social media. So I don't look at my screen. I just put on a podcast. I go outside for a walk, and then I have a nice walk, not looking at the screen or anything. That's what I'm proud of. And what I love board games and I love dancing. What about you, Tom?
I also love board games. Don't love dancing so much, but I do love other things such as people, cats, being with people, being with cats, stroking cats, stroking people. Yes, I am a designer also of a game for Bezos L deck called Categorical, and I live in Sheffield and do play testy things up here when we can.
Yes, which unfortunately hasn't been happening so much this year, but you are going to get back to it as soon as you can. Now, what we've been doing a lot of this past year is, I think it's actually been exactly a year now, because I think it was just after Aircon, which was, a bit over a year ago now. Yeah, and since then, every Tuesday evening, it started off Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and then, then lots of more online stuff started coming up. But every Tuesday evening, 8 p.m., if you watch me on twitch.tv/ToughByBez, which is there, it comes up, twitch.tv/ToughByBez. I stream every day at 10 a.m. UK time, but also every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. And we still play games together. It's always games that people can play along with. And so these two games that we are about to play, these both use the L deck. What is the L deck? It's a couple of letters on a card. That's the most important feature. You might want to know that the number tells you the frequency. So the top letter is always common. There are 6 of them, whether it's A, E, I, O, N, or S, T, whereas there's 3 Ws, for example, or there are 4 Bs because there's a number 4 there. But essentially what you want to know is that if it's a letter that's more commonly used, like a vowel, you'll get more of it. If it's something like a Z or an X or a Q, you'll only get one of those. And now with this one deck, you can play loads of games. And today, we are just going to play 2 of them, very similar ones at that. You might have understood, based on the names, Nano Muckell and Micro Muckell. So, shall we just get started, Tom?
Let's get started.
Let's get started with Nano Muckell. So, what is Nano Muckell about? Making words. 8 cards. 3 wild cards. So 3 times during the course of the game, you don't have to use one of the letters. You're just allowed to draw a star. Let me take a step back. And I will do an incredibly quick run. Let's say I drew an EK. I would think, okay, I'm going to draw maybe an E on my bits of paper. Then I'll draw an I or an L. I'm thinking, what could I have? Maybe that turns into elephant. And maybe I'll do a separate word. How many letters are in L, P, H, A, N, T? Wait a minute. Okay, L is... I could have S here. So you're always starting from the left and then moving towards the right. Whenever you want, you're always allowed to start a new word. At any point, you can do a little star, which is a wild card. So here, R or H, L or elope, R or H. That is not great for me. I will draw another star, and let's see what we get here. T or D. L. What would you put here? T or D? Elate?
Eland is a word.
Eland?
Eland is a word.
Eland is a word.
Expand it any further, though.
What does eland mean?
Some sort of antelope type thing, maybe?
You sure you could put an S at the end then?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I'll put a D there. So we are slightly cheating. We're using two minds here. And
Yes.
it's a T or an M. And that T or M... Wait, I can now use my final wild card because remember, you get 3 wild cards. And so now, for the scoring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see at the bottom, your letters in your longest word score 2 points. So that gives me 12. Boom. And here I got 2. That gives me 2 for a total score of 14. That is very close to the theoretical maximum of 16. But again, that was 2 of us working together.
Yes.
If you're not sure what to do mid-game, you can create a third word. I would say that's a score of more than 11 is fairly respectable. But shall we play again for real now?
Let's play for real.
Okay, so you need an L deck. But thankfully, I'm going to shuffle all these and you will be able to play with my cards. So if you're at home, pause the video. If you haven't already got yourself bits of paper and a pen. We are set. First card, E or Y. Which is better to start a word with? I know which one I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I've picked one.
Everyone, your next letter is I or U.
Ooh.
Is it useless or is it useful? I'm going with EI. I'm thinking 18, but if you've only got... Ideally, the strategy here is to have something that can turn into quite a few different words.
I've already given up on my... I'm having one long word.
Ooh.
Yeah.
R or W? Really? Which one would you rather use? And remember, you have 3 wild cards, so 3 times during the course of the game. You don't need to choose either of the letters. You can just draw a star. A or L? A lucky one? Or alas, lackluster? How are you feeling about this one?
Okay, I used a star for the last one.
I am giving up on my... So remember, because the longest word is doubled, the theoretical best is to get everything in one word, but I've decided to give up at this point, personally. T or G? Och. I will go with that.
I'm going with that.
T or G? Which one do you put? Remember that every line, you can only put letters on the right end of it. You can start a new line whenever you want, but new letters can only be put at the right end of a line. Now, use one of these 2. nuisance, useless, or nice and useful? Penultimate card. This is the 7th one. It's a quick game.
It's a very quick game.
I or C? Oof. So, do I want to go for a wild card on making 8? Because I know that 8 is a word. You can pluralize the word 8, I'm fairly sure. Or do I put I on its own line? Because then I can definitely get it for a wild card for my final turn. Remember, if you've not used all 3 of your wild cards, you're going to use it either here or next turn. That's a decision you want to make.
I'm using a wild card here, so I'm hoping that the next one turns up good.
I am going to use my wild card here to give myself 1 more potential point, but I might be losing a point. S, yes!
Yes, S is. We always like S.
I am fairly sure that 8 is a word. Now, I did say before this that we would avoid looking up things mid-game, but just to double check very quickly, Collins English Dictionary, 8 and 8. Yep. 8 is... Wait a minute. Is 8 not a word? Crazy 8? 8 just redirects to Crazy 8.
8 is a definite word.
Like, you have 8 of something, and then they came in 8. Like, they came in 2s, they came in 3s, they came in 4s, they came in 5s, they came in 6s, they came in 7s, they came in 8s. Let me... But how did you get on, Tom? Okay, in Merriam-Webster, it does allow that, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to give it to myself.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, if 8 had not been allowed, you are allowed to scribble off letters from the end, but then it just means that you don't get to use them at all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what have you got?
I got evades on the top one.
Evades, very nice.
Evades it.
So that's evades is 6 for 12 points, plus a 2-letter word gives you a total of 14. And we have another tie, because I've got 8 and at, which gives me 12 points for the 6 letters, and 2 points here gives me 14. I hope that is understandable, despite my ridiculously messy 2 on the top. Now, let's play one last game of Nano Muckell before we get into the micro version. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Shuffling up the cards. O or C? Which one would you like to start your word with? It's always tempting to go for the vowel, but it might not be the right choice. I or Y? Okay, cinemas. Indeed. You are going to write an I or a Y. Third card. I or B? I am Bez. Are you Bez?
I'm not Bez.
I'm Bez. I am going to keep the dream alive using my first wild card. A or P? Hopefully this game doesn't induce too much analysis paralysis. If you do ever feel like you really want to check a word in the dictionary, it is allowed as long as you don't slow the game down too much.
I'm going for a very specific word now. So there's not many words that start CYA, but cyanide is one of them. So.
The nice thing about cyanide is that even cyan is a word.
Cyan is a word, yes. As everyone discovered when they got colour printers.
Citation, which does require me to get those perfect letters.
Yeah.
It's a high-risk strategy. T! Boom! Yes!
Yeah, okay.
So citate, I just need one of the next 3 letters to come up. Because remember, you have 3 wildcards. And with those 3 wildcards, that makes the possibility of that 8-letter word something that you do sometimes want to push your luck on. So, hurrying through. Everybody must use one of these.
Oh dear. Yeah. I still got the dream of cyanide, but I'm hoping for.
You need a D or an E.
Yep. I have a D on the next one.
So, like me, you only need one of the 2 to come up.
Yep.
I need an O and then an N. Okay. A or G. This is awkward.
Yeah, I mean, do I give up on the cyanide? Is there anything else I can do with that? Nah.
I am already going all in. If I don't think there's any way for me to scribble things off the right to make this a good letter, this is either going to be a 16 or it's going to be a 0.
Right.
Wait, so I'm sure that CIS, it'll be at least 6 points, okay. But...
Yeah, butter? No, not quite.
Wait. Could it be ciabatta?
Not quite, no.
Oh, is there 2 B's and 2 B's?
Yeah.
2
letters.
Yeah, it's important to double check these things. But A or G, that was the penultimate card. Is everybody watching? Are you ready for the final card? I don't know what it is.
Come on, E. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, sad times, sad times. I've already used...
even add anything to my second one. Okay.
You can, of course, use O as a letter all on its own because O, A, and I are 1-letter words. So that means I need to scribble off all that. If only I had gotten that N, then I would have gotten the 16 points, the perfect 16 points. I was pushing my luck. I flew too close to the sun, and I just got burnt.
Yes.
And so I have got cis with 3 letters for 6 points, 1 for 1, and that is 7. How about you, Tom?
I ended up with cyan from the top line.
That's pretty good.
And I and O.
Okay, so that is 10 points.
Yes.
So how did you compare at home? Did you manage to equal our 14 for game number 2? But do remember that Tom and I have played this game quite a bit. I mean, how much have we... Yeah. Let's say probably playing it a couple of times, maybe 20, 30 times for me. 10 times for you, maybe?
Maybe, yes.
And so, yeah, did you manage to get 14 points? Did you manage to beat me? Did you manage to not risk it so much? Did you manage to get more than 7 points or even more than 10 points? Let us know in the comments. And now that you've played a couple of games of Nano Muckell, I am going to step it up a tiny little bit. And you know what's coming up next, Tom?
Ooh, is it Micro Muckell?
It is. It is exactly Micro Muckell, where it is very similar. Choose 1 letter from each card to grow a word. You can also use one of those letters to start a new word. You must always be writing your words going left to right. Now, because you've got 16 letters and you still only have 3 wild cards, you're probably going to want to make quite a few more words. So this time around, your longest word is going to score you 3 points per letter. Your second longest word is going to score you 2 points per letter. And every other word is going to give you 1 point per letter in that word. And of course, if you don't manage to use every single letter, then is there anything else that you would think I've missed?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I've got 3, another 2, 3, another 2, 3, another 2 for 15, and then 1 for 16. So I've just dealt out a whole bunch of cards. And I will draw at the bottom of this bit of paper. And at home, I hope that you understand how to play. See, can you beat me? Can you beat Tom? Can you get a respectable score that you're happy with? And if you can't, you can always come back on a Tuesday. I do want to actually double check now. When do we play Micro Muckle? It is on it is always on the second Tuesday of the month. I've started up a new routine now. So first Tuesday of the month we play The Most Like a Pineapple. Second Tuesday of the month we play Nano Muckell and Micro Muckell. Third Tuesday we play a Lion game. Fourth Tuesday we play Balanceable, which is a bit more complex. And fifth Tuesday of the month, if there is a fifth Tuesday, is a surprise. So let us get stuck in to Micro Muckell. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
I am also ready. So, this is a kind of magic, one might say, if one were trying to use the word letters A and M to start words slightly awkwardly, you might say. I am going with that. Second letter, A or W?
Oh.
Do you use it to extend your first word? Or do you start a new word with it? Which letter do you use? Or do you use a wild card? Which, after all, would anyone do? Third card is S or H. Somebody, how can I get out of this situation? So I've gotten this so far, and I'm thinking, what's the chance of getting awkward? And I am thinking, K, there's only one of in the deck, so if I actually even want awesome or... Yeah, I feel I should put a star there. I don't feel too bad about that.
So I've got Maz.
We have diverged quite a bit. A or J?
Ooh.
Okay, I am going to start my second word.
So am I.
I'm going to wait a bit for a W or an S. N or F? Nobody fear, an F is here. And hopefully it's useful to you. S or X? It's the only way. It's SX. That's a terrible pun. I'm sorry.
And you make it every time.
Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I enjoy that pun. O or U? Oh, U. Our usefulness of letters is very situational. In this situation, I am very excited by that. Oh, I'm going for awesome.
Oh.
Who are you? Starting off awkward, but ended up awesome. R or D? Remember, you are allowed to use as many letters as you want. As many words as you want. You're allowed to use up to one of these letters. You could skip a letter, but you might as well, rather than skip it, just put it into a new word, because you might do something with it. Why not? That's how I'm getting on. And But we're only halfway through the game. We are halfway through the game with 8 cards to go.
Mm-hmm.
Real life. Andrew. Remember, proper nouns do not count. You cannot use them. I cannot think of any way to extend and. Even though, true story, sometimes if I'm playing alone, I kind of get a bit cheeky and I type in something into Collins and see, okay, what other word starts with these letters? O or D? Are devilishly good cards.
6 more to go.
Indeed. E or W? Everybody wins. I mean, yeah, it's a multiplayer solitaire, so if you beat your previous score, then you win. And if you've never played before, then by definition you can consider yourself a winner. Would you not agree with that, Tom?
Yes, absolutely.
We're getting towards the end. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th from the last. T or L? I've decided to go with a star to use it for the M of awesome. T or L? O or F? Is this the card you're dreaming of?
It's not.
Hmm.
I've used 2 wild cards so far.
I have used 2 wild cards, and I am going to use this as a 1-letter word on its own. I am hoping for an E. N or Z?
Oh dear.
Well, at least I can put it on that O.
I'm wondering whether to use my 3rd wild card instead of this. Okay.
Are you going for it? Are you using your 3rd wild card already?
3rd wild card. So
there are 2 cards to go. So you have to go with whatever the final cards say.
I know. Scary.
Come on, an S or an E. S is good. S is good. I like that. And I am in a very good situation because I have only used 2 wild cards, as you can see. And so I don't even care what the last one is. S or G. So, going on. Final card. What is it? It is R or B.
What did you need? That's exactly what I needed.
1 out of 1. 1 out of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so remember, you are allowed to double one of your words and triple one of your words. Basically, triple your longest and double your second longest. In this example, I have awesome, which is 7 letters. 7 times 3 gives me 21. I doubled my 4-letter word rose for 8 points. And on and give me 2 and 3 points respectively. So that's 10, 13, 34. I'm happy with that. I feel like anything, if you've got 26, that's something that you can be happy with.
I have got the R gave me another, which was very useful.
Nice.
So without that, I don't know what I would have got. So that's 7 letters times 3 is 21.
You could have had anoint.
Oh, I suppose I could have, yes.
Yeah,
I think. 6 times 2 is 12, and another 3. I make that 36.
Yes, I believe your arithmetic is correct. So, Tom, congratulations, you won with 36 points.
Getting slightly
I
lucky.
scored 34 points. So remember, if this is your first time playing this game, I would say that if you manage to score 26, you've done really well. And you should, be happy with yourself. Give it another go at some points in the not too distant future. Maybe check out one of my old videos on youtube.com/stuffbybez. You can check out some of the old videos where I do Micro Muckle and see if you can get on with a different mix. Maybe get your own deck at stuffbybez.bigcartel. And the important thing to note is that just now it is sold out. You can only get a print and play version, but we do have the categorical deck that is coming up soon. Hope by the end of the year, it's going to be all redrawn, exciting, graffiti-inspired typeface. And then we're going to have a Kickstarter for a couple. So, thank you everyone for watching. That is 2 games for the L deck. Tom, do you have anything more to say?
I've just got a query. You've made Nano Muckell. You've made Micro Muckell. You've made Muckell. Is the next game going to be Kilo Muckell? And maybe Mega Muckell after that?
Well,
how can this go?
Okay, let me take a step back. Let me explain Muckle. Because many Mickle makes Muckle. Now, if you're Scottish, you will know the phrase many Mickle makes Muckle, which basically means many a little thing makes a big thing. The entire idea of the Muckle system is that you need to have a deck of cards, and I believe there is a Board Game Geek video explaining how to play Muckle with Beth Hiley of Board Game Geek, and myself, Bez, of Stuff by Bez. And you need the cards because you don't fix which letter it's going to be until you actually claim the word, if that makes sense. So it is a little bit easier in that sense, but you're playing through all 48 cards. Now, with that game, Mickle, as I call it, so that's his Mickle. If multiple people play it, then, well, many people are playing Mickle. It is a Muckle. And that is why Muckle is kind of... Muckle's the full deck. I tried it with the full deck for streaming because I thought that we were going to be in this situation for a few weeks. It was okay. It didn't quite work as well as I would have liked. I made Mini Muckle, which was 24 cards. That worked okay. Then I made Micro Muckle, 16 cards. That seemed to work a wee bit nicer. And now I've gone to 8 cards, and the 16 card version are personally my favorites for online play. Whereas if I were playing myself in real life, I would prefer to play the full deck version, especially if you've got other people with you with their own decks, everyone choosing the same cards at the same time and then comparing your scores at the end.
It works like Karuba or number 9, like, oh, we've drawn this card,
exactly.
we'll draw that card. Yes.
Or Take It Easy, to have a slightly older example. There's definitely a joy in multiplayer solitaire, and the joy is that I can show you the cards, everyone can play at home. And so let me remind you, if you have enjoyed this, if you want to check me out a wee bit more, then I am, as the links come on, stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcartel.com if you want to buy my print and play, twitter.com/stuffbybez for tweets, instagram.com/stuffbybez. You know what Instagram is, it's for pictures, twitch.tv/stuffbybez, where I stream every day for the next few months at 10 a.m. UK time and Tuesdays 8 p.m. UK time, youtube.com/stuffbybez for the old episodes, and stuffbybez.com/discord. If you want to get involved with future game jams and all sorts of things, then the Discord is where you want to go. So that brings me to the final close. And yeah, Tom, if you would like to pass some message on to people, what would you like to say?
Be excellent to one another.
I like that. People are important. Share love. Be kind. Be thoughtful. Remember, it's not all just about you. And if I want to be a bit more self-promotion-y, then yeah, firstly, Tabletop Gaming Magazine, thank you for doing this whole showcase thing. Thank you for including me in it. And shouts out to those folks at Tabletop Gaming Mag. If you have liked this, then please do check out the L deck. And you can't get one of these bots. Keep updated. Check out my website. Check out my mailing list. Lots of love. There is some great stuff coming. For now, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go to bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.